Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and we are roughly 2 weeks away from the first episode of the three-part 60th anniversary special releasing. And we still don't have the release dates for those three specials. And we're this close. We are less than a month away from the anniversary itself. What we do know is that none of the specials will be airing on the anniversary itself, which I think is a major problem. Yes, it is a Thursday, but the buzz for Doctor Who will be massive on the anniversary itself, and it's not like the weekend release dates ever helped the Jodie Whittaker era very much. But there are a few pieces of side news that are interesting to talk about, but I needed to come out and say, why aren't we getting the release dates? It might not be a problem. And yes, Doctor Who has often waited till the last minute to release the release dates for their coming properties. For example, the Jodie Whittaker Power of a Doctor special, we saw her regeneration. We got the release date for that roughly a month before the episode came out. But that's nowhere near as bad as around 2 weeks from the first special coming out. Is it just going to be like, oh my God, the episode's coming out tonight. Everyone, wow, go check it out. You need a little bit of buildup. You need to give people a chance to put it on their calendars for the diehard fans and the people who are genuinely interested in this to mark it on their calendars to be like, all right, I'm going to be here to watch it. I'm going to watch it live, or I need a plan to watch it on Disney Plus later on, or whatever the case may be. You can't drop the release date for a major anniversary special in a franchise like this so late and expect to get good viewership. It might not be a sign of a problem with the specials. It might not be anything like that, but it could be. It could be a sign that maybe reshoots had to be done, maybe extensive editing needed to be done, some last minute problems with it. Who knows what the cause for this is, but it is cause for concern and cause for question. And I think will damage the overall reception to the 60th anniversary specials. The closer we get to the release dates and we don't get an actual confirmation of when they're coming out, the more the viewership figures will suffer as a result. That is just my personal opinion, but there is some Doctor Who related news that I did want to briefly touch on. Apparently, filming has started for Series 15, the second series with Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. And yeah, that's great. They're filming again. They're making it annual, which is I think is a very, very important thing. Something that we haven't had from Doctor Who consistently for a while now. Even the Capaldi era struggled with being annually at certain points. This is a good thing. I love that it's being annual, but it feels like too much too soon. Just like I mentioned with the numerous spin-offs, some people were coming after me in the comments saying, oh, they're just going to do one or two spin-offs. Why are you freaking out? They did the same thing back in the day. No, they've mentioned numerous, and there are several rumored and planned spin-offs. That is more than two. It's going to be a substantial amount to the point where there might be Doctor Who year-round. We're too soon into this at this point to be going so hard. They're going to be spamming out content similar to the Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus shows. That is a problem. Right now is they just need to focus on the 60th anniversary and one good season and hope they do such a good job that they'll be able to push forward with several spin-offs and then build up the amount of spin-offs over the years if they keep that forward momentum in a positive direction, building and expanding the fan base to its previous heights. This is not a good sign in my opinion. They can't film this soon. They can't get Series 15 ready to go this soon. Something else to note about Series 15 is just like Series 14, it's going to be a short season, 8 episodes per season. Doctor Who needs to be longer than that. As time progresses, this show gets shorter and shorter. Back in the day in Classic Who, there were 30 episodes per season, roughly. And of course, that was because they were shorter episodes as well. And then coming into New Who, they started out with roughly 12 to 15 episodes per season, and then the Christmas specials either in there or on top of that. That's what we need to be getting back to. We can't keep going smaller and smaller. That's a trend across television in general, but 8 episodes isn't that much, which is perhaps why they're able to go to annual at this point, why they're able to start filming Ncuti's second season already, because they're cutting these seasons so very, very short. The other piece of news I want to talk about is apparently there was talk about a Vinder spin-off show. For those of you who don't know, Vinder was a character introduced in Doctor Who Flux who briefly showed up in some of the specials and was a completely forgettable character. Some people theorize that it might be the Doctor's father, which would have been disastrous. That would have been awful. But apparently, there was going to be a Vinder spinoff. Who was asking for that? Of the few people who actually watched the end of the Jodie Whittaker era, how many of them were clamoring for a spinoff about Vinder? That would have been a disaster. So I guess I do have to thank the current Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who for destroying this. We did not need to see this. So I have to thank them for that at least. And another piece of news is for the upcoming Ncuti Gatwa series of Doctor Who, a Loki writer has been tasked to contribute to the show. Loki and sex education director to co-write episodes of Doctor Who. We don't need more Loki people spreading out in Marvel or spreading out into other shows, because I've only watched season 1 of Loki, but season 1 of Loki was horrendous. And from what I hear about season 2, it's not any better. We don't need people like this, Rick and Morty people as well, just spreading out and tainting the rest of the television industry with their incompetence. This is only a bad sign. This is nowhere near as bad as the news of the writer for the Witches episode of series 11 of Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker's first season, which saw a writer who had no experience in television really at all and was only known as a feminist writer who'd only written feminist stuff. Nothing else, no sci-fi, no fiction really either, was tasked to write that episode of series 11. That is far worse than this, but this is still a bad sign. I don't want anyone from Loki or even current Marvel touching Doctor Who. This is further sign that Doctor Who is in a bad, terrible state because they're tasking writers who are incompetent to write the show. Even if Russell T Davies can channel the man he was back in the day to write the occasional good episode of Doctor Who, he's still hiring people who will not be on that same level, which will overall decrease the value of the series going forward. This is a bad sign and further evidence that Disney Plus is fully bringing Doctor Who under its banner in more ways than just distribution worldwide. Back when the news that Disney Plus would be the worldwide distributor for Doctor Who, a lot of people got upset with me when I said they would be influencing the production of Doctor Who. There's no way they're going to do that. They don't care. They'll just give them a little bit of money and then they'll share it out. They're not actually going to get involved. But then when we heard how big the budgets for Doctor Who were going to be under the Disney Plus era and how much that Disney was getting involved, and now they're giving Doctor Who Disney Plus writers, that level of cope from the people defending the current Russell T Davies era is fully out the window at this point. Disney Plus is making Doctor Who now. That is where we're at. We're going to get Loki season 3 and call it Doctor Who. That's the level of writing we can expect. That's the level of competence we can expect, because this is a Disney Plus production going forward with Disney Plus people. Yes, Russell T Davies used to be a great writer, but he's changed a lot since he left the show in 2009. I do not believe he's the same man. I do not have any hope for the upcoming Doctor Who series or the 60th anniversary. I want to be proven wrong. That's something a lot of people don't understand. This is something that I've never wanted to be more wrong about, because Doctor Who is my favorite franchise. I would love to have great Doctor Who again. And as long as they've got the Timeless Children in place and hiring writers like this, and Russell T Davies says the things he does, I will have zero hope for it, and I will not believe that this is back to form, that this Doctor Who will be any good. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.